to my computer. Hello, everyone. This is Vickie Hacking, and I'm excited today to be able to do another interview with one of my favorite sisters in Jafra. DaLoria Mondesir has been with Jafra, and I was so touched by her story the other night. And I went, oh, we need to do an interview because she has such a great story of hope. So I'm going to let DaLoria, I love her name, but I'm going to let her introduce herself. She's a second line for me. So I'm thrilled that she is in my lineage and that I'm kind of her grandmother. So I'm thrilled to be your grandmother. I know that Evelyn Abernathy is your mother, and that you're building your own lineage, and you are the mother of branches. So DaLoria, I'm just going to let you introduce yourself, and then we'll just talk, okay?
Conversation is wonderful. Thank you. Well, Vickie, first of all, thank you so much for thinking of me and having me on your, I'm calling it the Vickie Show today. I appreciate it. But my name is DaLoria Mondesir, and I'm going to say my age on purpose. I'm 60 years old. So I want to be an encouragement to ladies that are starting over. I just recently relocated from Southern California to the Dallas area, and I absolutely love it here. But, you know, sometimes you're looking for things and you may not be quite sure what you're looking for, but you know, your spirit is looking for something and you need a change. And moving out of my home state, which I love, to a place that I actually had never been before was a new start for me. So there were a number of things going on in my life that warranted a new start, if I can say it like that. But as far as Jafra is concerned, oh my gosh, I heard about Jafra. I must have been 19, 20 years old, of course, living in the Los Angeles County area. I'm from Altadena, California. So if there's any Dena girls out there, hello. That's what we call ourselves. But I was involved in a choir, our state youth choir, and our rehearsals were in Los Angeles. Well, at that time, of course, living in the Altadena, Pasadena area, driving to Los Angeles was just about a 30-minute drive, but I would be going back and forth because my life was pretty much in LA. But there was an older church sister, not old, but she was about 4 or 5 years older than me. And I would stay at her apartment in Inglewood. She had on her dresser a little jar of royal jelly. And it was just sitting in the middle of her dresser like it was something extremely special. I'm like, what is this? Because she always had it placed so nicely there. And we had some conversations about it, and she let me try it. And I fell in love with Jafra, with that royal jelly then. And so here recently, moving ahead to 2020, I was just here in my bathroom in Plano, where I live right outside of Dallas, and I was getting ready for my day and just realized I am running out of everything. I don't have, my skincare is running low, my makeup is running low. Oh my goodness, I needed to replace everything. My lotions, my body scrubs, it was like everything all at the same time, like they talked to each other and said, let's run out and make her laugh. So I thought about it. I'm like, well, I could run to the corner store and grab something to put on my face, but then you don't know what kind of ingredients are in there. And I have sensitive skin, I believe. So I didn't want to put just anything on my skin. And if I was going to go to the higher price things, I would just have just a couple of products. And that's going to run out. And my investment in that was going to just be gone. So I thought, maybe better to invest in a company where I can get, recoup my investment. And I thought about it for a couple of days, and that bottle of royal jelly, believe it or not, came back to my mind after all these years. Hadn't even thought about Jafra, wondered if they were still around. And I went on Facebook and found the company page, the regional page for Jafra. Saw a young lady on there from my old church in LA and contacted her Now, this all happened in one day. I contacted her to find out if she was a consultant. She was not, but she had a friend, Evelyn Abernathy, who's now my mother in Jafra. And I contacted Evelyn. We had a wonderful conversation. We hit it off from the very first phone call. And I said, well, let me pray about it. Let me think about it. Because, of course, she presented the opportunity. And I was going to call her back the next day. And in the middle of the night, I'm like, bump that. I'm signing up. So it was about 2:00 in the morning. And I jumped on Evelyn's website and I went ahead and signed up for the $39 kit. And I had wonderful products in there. And then, of course, I wanted to do the skincare kit. So I would have all of the skincare lines. And it just made sense to me to invest in something that I already knew about, that I already believed in, and then finding out that Jafra had been around for 64 years, I was already sold on the product. That it was a done deal for me. So Evelyn and I, of course, spoke the next day, and of course, she had gotten the notification that I'd signed up, and she started presenting some different things to me. I'm like, sign me up for everything, leadership, everything. I want to do this. I've always loved the concept of being an entrepreneur. I love the concept of being able to work from home, even if you have a 9-to-5. I don't know if you can see this little picture behind me, this little black and white picture. That's my mother when she was a young woman. And it hit me the other day. Mom was an entrepreneur. She worked a 9-to-5. She worked for the Pasadena School Board and retired from there. But Mom usually had an at-home business that she was working. She had a travel agency that she was working from home. And this is, of course, back before the day of cell phones and internet and all that. And I would see my mother at the dining room table with the rotary telephone, calling people, and those calls coming in for her travel agency. And she was doing that on the side in addition to raising 4 children. So I think I got that entrepreneurial bug from my mom, who I miss dearly. She's
You know,
gone.
that's unusual. That's for that day, because women didn't work in those days, or they didn't have a business out of their home. They may have gone to work, and especially during the war years, but they really didn't have businesses like we do today. I mean, women have multiple businesses. I know you also do the insurance.
No, actually, I'm a realtor.
A realtor, that's what I meant.
Yes,
You're a realtor. So multiple sources of income is absolutely what I'm passionate about. I don't
Yeah,
have multiple sources, but I encourage women that are working other jobs to join Jafra, because,
absolutely.
right, and I know that's the way you look at it too. So to talk about that consultant pack, let's just tell the ladies, why was that so attractive to you when you
That
joined
was
Jafra?
so attractive to me because number one, I was going to get to try all of the different skincare lines if I wanted to, or if I wanted to sell those packages, then of course I could. So included in that skincare pack was the Defy, and that was the first one I wanted to use because of my age, and that defies the aging of your skin. And then the next one was Revitalize. Those are the two that I really wanted to use so I could have my own testimonial on using both of them. And then, of course, the, oh my gosh, Clear Smart wasn't in there yet. That's a new one.
Mm-mm.
And the Boost was in there.
And the
The
Luna Bright.
Luna Bright and the men's skincare. Thank you for helping me out. I'm a little nervous this morning. And you know what? And I actually have samples of the Boost that I share with people, and I want to share some of that as well. But I wanted to have the testimonial of how the skincare products worked on me, because some people think Jafra is, oh, that makeup company, they're just makeup. But they're not makeup. Jafra was built on skincare, and you've got to have great skincare, or your makeup is going to look horrible. So I wanted to be sure that I'm taking care of my skin. We have those days that all we're going to do when we run out maybe is just throw on some lip gloss, and this is a Jafra lip gloss. Throw on some lip gloss and mascara because you're in a rush, but your skin has to look good. You have to take care of your skin. So you're hydrating from the outside as well as the inside.
And you're such an example of that. Your skin is so beautiful. It looks
Thank you.
absolutely beautiful on the camera. But
Thank you.
DeLoria, this is, I always felt like whenever I approach anyone, and I know you're bringing a lot of people into Jafra, we'll talk about that in a minute, but that is the key to presenting, is that that's what, 27 products? They're
Yes,
paying less than $10 each.
yes,
It's a no-brainer. You
no brainer.
wouldn't bring anyone into Jafra without showing them that that 27 item consultant pack. I feel
I would
like
do
that
you a
everyone
disservice.
listening to this just needs to know that if you're going to share the opportunity, you
Mhm.
share that pack.
You share the pack. You're doing a disservice to the person that you're bringing into the company if you don't share that pack. That skincare pack, if that consultant decides to sell that, that's retail value of $1,122. If you go with the fragrance pack, that's retail value of over $900, and you're only paying $200 for it. And that's getting you started. um, it would be $400 value. So you're also already getting your $400 start to your VIP program and your Welcome to Jafra program. So to me, it was a no-brainer. I was going to do that.
So then the pandemic happened
Yeah,
and everything, the world changed, right? So
absolutely.
what were your thoughts about that? How were you going to do the business? Because here you are, and
Yeah,
now you can't really run out and do parties.
right. Well, let me back up a little bit
Okay.
and answer that question. I'll give you the long version of that. With the pandemic, now my plan in moving to Texas, I was going to get my Texas real estate license. I have, been licensed in California for over 20 years, but move here, get my Texas license. I had someone that was coming in from California, was waiting for me to get my license, and that would be my first sale. Well, then the pandemic hit. I had taken my classes. I had one more real estate class to take in real estate school here and ended up taking that class online. But then the testing centers were shut down, the background check centers were shut down, and I was just stuck because things didn't go according to plan. And that was before that was maybe 2 months, 3 months before I started Jafra. So I was okay for a while, but yeah, during the pandemic and starting it, you have to be creative in how you speak, how you can bring people into the business. So if something happened to me and affected my finances because of the pandemic, I mean, there's been literally thousands of people around the country. So enter social media. You've got to be able to bring people onto your Facebook page. If you're not on Facebook, get on Facebook. It's not a bad thing. Facebook can be used for good, not just for bad. Instagram, Pinterest. I'm learning Pinterest right now. That's something else I want to utilize for Jafra. And then LinkedIn. Here, just in the last 2 weeks, I've been talking to people on LinkedIn, and I believe it was, and forgive me if I mispronounce your name, but Shafika?
Yeah, Shafika.
Shafika?
Yeah, Shafika
She,
Miles.
and I didn't know it was her at the time, but there was another young lady that saw my testimonial. Um, it had been sent to her via email or what have you, and it was Shafika that sent her friend Nikki the testimonial, our joy meeting from our last Thursday meeting. And I was honored to have my testimonial on there. And this young lady reached out to me via LinkedIn and said, "Hey, I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm a realtor in Maryland, and my friend told me about Jafra," and just had a quick introduction. And I got so excited. I'm like, "Oh my God, you have to do Jafra." And this was like after 10 o'clock at night, and I was preparing to go to bed and just happened to jump on LinkedIn. And I said, "You need to call your friend tonight. Don't waste any time. Get a hold of your friend. You need to get signed up right away." And she said, "Oh, I love it. That's the kind of leader that I love." And she contacted her friend. And I didn't know it was Chafika until we were actually on a live. I think it was yesterday on one of our group lives. And she was giving the testimonial of how she shared it with somebody, and her somebody spoke to somebody on LinkedIn, and it was me. So, and the three of us don't know each other, but it's worth the effort to encourage people. So even though, and that's one of the things I love about Jafra Sisters, she's not in my line, but I helped somebody else just by advertising on LinkedIn. And I planted that seed so that harvest will come back to me in another way.
Oh, that's a beautiful way to look. So tell us about, well, just real quickly. So
Yeah.
LinkedIn is worth pursuing.
I would say so. And it's really funny, the timing of this, because I thought, oh, I'm probably going to get off of LinkedIn because I don't spend a lot of time on it. But, you know, because LinkedIn is more for business and people looking for opportunities and looking for people to hire and what have you. But I just put some opportunity information there, and it actually got some action there. And here, gosh, 2 days ago, just happened to meet a lady. We're both from Pasadena area. She would have gone to the same high school, but busing had started, so she had to go across town. But we're a year apart, and we just met on LinkedIn because I posted something on Jafra 2 days ago. I posted on LinkedIn about Jafra 2 days ago. So now we've connected on Facebook. I've sent her some information, and I'm going to be following up with her today. But it's just amazing. We've got to know a lot of the same people because we grew up in the same town.
That's
So
right.
it's worth it.
What
Yeah.
are some of the other social things that you're doing virtually?
Well, I do Facebook Lives, and I just do an array of lives, and I'm going to be doing more, but sometimes I'll use my cell phone and do something really funny. So like for the guys, you know, you can put the little, the virtual hats and little funny things on there. And I'm a very creative person. And on a whim one day, I thought, oh, I'm just going to play with these little doodads at the bottom and see what happens. And I ended up with this black hat and black sunglasses. I'm like, oh my God, I look like something off of the Blues Brothers. So I went with it. I grabbed the men's products. I turned on some Blues Brothers music, and I just, you know, just had a little jazzy live, and it was just fun. So I'll do anything from that to going a little more serious, or just sharing about a product that I love. This is the hair conditioner and scalp massage. So I've used that, and I'll just give my testimonial about it. Or one of my absolute favorite products, the ginger and sea salt body rub. Love it. I know I've done a few lives on that, and I'm just going to show these three. The almond oil, and I'll just talk about the almond oil. And I guess I did a live that was so passionate just about the almond oil. I had people contacting me and purchasing just almond oil. They were online on my free website that Jafra provides in the middle of the night ordering almond oil.
Oh, DeLoria, that's amazing. I know you're brave. So I've got so many friends in the business, and they're afraid to go Facebook Live.
So am I. But you just have to do it.
So would you say you do this Facebook Live every day?
I don't do it every day. I time block in different ways, but I am going to be doing more because we have entered into the largest selling season of the year, holiday year. So I will be doing more, and I don't make them real long. I've even used my Zoom account to show the entire catalog. So I'm up in the corner on the Zoom and just showing the virtual catalog. I've done both the monthly specials, and I've done the entire catalog. The entire catalog took just under an hour, but I'm just trying to grab a feel of what the audience needs. I want to be able to fulfill a need that someone wants. So like I was talking to a young lady the other day, she said, oh, I really don't wear a lot of makeup. I do lip gloss and mascara and I'm out the door. I said, yeah, but you got to do skincare. Oh yeah, you know, and they think about that. But just, I'm a very creative person again. So whatever comes to mind, or I kind of look at Facebook and see, now what are people talking about? What are their needs? I'm even contacting people that have other businesses, and I'm looking for people that already have an online business or have a brick and mortar, and maybe you're not doing as much business already, but your brick and mortar is open again, but just something to add to their online boutique. So I'm not trying to make anybody stop what they're already doing, but this is something that you can add to. So if you're, for instance, selling jewelry, and you're online once or twice a week selling that, then use another day or two and go online and talk about your Jafra. So it doesn't detract from anything that you're already doing. It can just add to.
How do you find those people, DeLoria? Because I think that that's a really hot lead to go and find people. So
Just,
tell us a little bit about how you're doing it and how it's working.
well, first of all, I just was phone calling. When I first started, I just picked up that phone, and I know that phone sometimes will feel like it weighs 100 pounds because we don't want to make the phone call. But you just got to make the phone call and just, don't tell them everything about it. I don't want to mean to say you just have to throw out the whole presentation, but just share with your girlfriend that you have something that's fun. It's a fantastic product, and I'd like to share some information with you. As far as people on Facebook, acquaintances on Facebook, of course, I don't know all of these people that are in my friends list personally, but I look for people that are already enterprising. I look for people that may have a need. Um, People are not always going to put on Facebook everything that's happening in their life, as they shouldn't, but you're just presenting an opportunity, and you're going to get some no's. But
Is
you just
there a way? Is there a way that you can actually look for people that are selling products already on Facebook?
Sure, you can go to your search bar. I don't want to start calling other companies names, but put in the search bar um, a specific company name, people that sell such and such, um, or just put in that
Jewelry,
company
like for
name.
example, jewelry.
Jewelry. Put in jewelry. Put in candles. Put in things that are already online businesses, and just look for those people and just kind of scroll and look for people.
And
Another thing,
where would you put, what you put in that search bar? Would you put selling Facebook on Facebook? Would you search on Facebook for people selling candles, or how would you word that?
I would put in, again, I don't want to call the company names, but I would put in the name of that company. And
Okay.
what's going to pop up is just different individuals, and that name will highlight, that word will highlight within that. So you can see different people that way and reach out to them. And they may be people already in your friends list. But you can,
Because as I see it, we're looking for people that are already working through Facebook and social avenues that are already selling products, a variety of products,
a
because
variety of products,
right, a
yes.
variety of products. And
Mhm.
then you would approach them with, why not have Jafra as one of the products, right? Am I
Exactly.
going in the right direction?
That's exactly right.
And how's
Yeah.
that work? How's that working?
I'm still working on it. I haven't given up. I have a don't give up spirit. So I'm still working on that. I honestly, I have gotten people that said, well, no, I want to put my all in all into everything that I'm doing now and make it work. But the thing is, they haven't told me no. So that's something I can always follow up, unless they just give me a flat out no. I said, well, can I follow up with you maybe in 30 days? Or
You
would you
know,
like to try it?
that is such valuable advice. You, unless they give you a flat out no, you
Hmm.
never take them off your list. I
Exactly.
always had a list of people that I was working with to try to have them join the company. And as long as they kept saying, no, I'm not interested, but they didn't say flat out, or I saw that it wasn't worth following up, I just every month reached out to them.
Exactly.
How are you doing? Right, Deloria? Just how are you?
Exactly. Exactly. I reached out to a young lady the other day, the other week, and she'd kind of sort of heard about Jafra, but wasn't really familiar with it. And she was really into the company, and she is into the company, and that's fine that she's doing. And I said, well, let me just, if you, since you've never tried it, let me just send you a sample. and you try it. So I have my little envelopes here, and you can use this size, or there's actually sizes that you can get on Amazon that actually fit this, but I have 500 of these, so I'm going to use them. And basically, I'm just going to fold this in half, and with that, I'm going to include the subscription information for Stay Royal. So I'm giving them value. I'm not badgering them with, I need you to join my company, because it's not about me. It's about me wanting to help people. And just sidebar, the pearls on my little mannequin back here, that's representative just for me. That's just a message to me. I want to help as many women as I can. And each pearl represents a different woman to me. So that's my little daily motivation, along with the red dress. But just giving them value and saying, okay, well, you're not real familiar with Jafra. May I have your mailing address? If you have a P.O. box number or something, let me send you a sample. And I send this information. I'm also going to include some information on the business. And this is 7 reasons to become a Jafra consultant today. And branding, I use my own branding, DeLoria's Beauty Bars. So I just include that, and then I follow up with them. So the last young lady that I sent this to just a few days ago, she was so kind. She took a picture of her subscription box paper that I sent her, along with her samples, just took a picture and sent it to me through Messenger, just to let me know that she had it. So now I have a date that I could mark down, and I know she got it on this day. And I contacted her back, of course, responded to her, well, let's talk about it again after you've tried the product, and tell me how you love it. I know she's going to love it.
Of course she is.
That's a given. So I'll follow up.
I like that you added that subscription bar page.
Mm-hmm.
So we could get that right off of the Jafra site.
Right off of the Jafra site. So it's a PDF, and you can also use it as your header on your business page as well. But I want to make sure that people know that there's value in what they're doing. So I have, for instance, 3 of my clients are 70 plus in age, and they absolutely love the Defy. They absolutely love the Defy. They're never going to go online live and say, oh, I got this and this and that. But I have a testimonial. I have a written testimonial from them. And I have their conversation, of course, in my mind and my heart, that I can share with other ladies that are in that age group, that, hey, my client in such and such a state, she's 80 plus years old. She uses Defy. She absolutely loves it.
Okay, so give us some more tips about what you're doing to get this business moving.
Okay, well, what I'm going to be doing now, because we've entered into holiday, this is just something real quick and cute. Now, this is not my original idea, so I can't say that it's mine. Pardon me.
But you claimed it.
But I claimed it, and forgive me, I've got to take a drink. I'm losing my voice. Excuse me. But on one of our Zooms the other day, the ladies were talking about how we can go out and meet people. And this was really key and hit home for me, because I moved to a city where I don't know anybody. So it's incumbent upon me to get out and meet people. So I ran to the dollar store, and I just picked up some of these little plastic bags. And then I also have some clear ones here as well, which I already actually had at home. And I'm just going to open this up and show you what I've done in this. So, I mean, the curling ribbon, I already had at home. I've mentioned that I'm a creative person, so I've got all kinds of decorating little doodads at home. And let me just, I think I tied this ribbon a little bit more than I wanted to. So inside, I have included just some candy from the dollar store, and you can do anything. You can get the 100 grand and add some play money, some Monopoly money to it if you wanted to on the outside. But inside, I've just taken one of our action magazines. I have my label on it that has my information. And I really just folded it in half and just put some Scotch tape at the top. So that's included. I have this subscription rolled up again. Information there. I'm sorry, this is not subscription. This is the 7 reasons to become a Jafra consultant. So that's in there as well as my business card. And on the back of my business card, I have information about Start Your Own Business Today and how they can contact me. And right now, people may or may not want to tell you, but they are looking. So what I'm going to do, I have my Jafra bag. So when I signed up with the company at the $39 cost, this is what my products came in. So I'm going to make about 60 of these, and I'm going to put them in my bag and then make more trips to the grocery store. I've taken my weekly shopping list or 2-week grocery shopping list, cut it down, and I'll just go buy 2 or 3 things at a time. And instead of carrying my purse, I'll just carry this. They can see my Jafra name. And as I am able to speak to women in the grocery store with my mask on, of course, then I can give them a little goodie bag. So yesterday I went out, I didn't have the goodie bags ready. I went out to get the bags for this to have it ready. But I just talked to the cashiers, and I had available with me an expired catalog. And I love doing this. This is an expired catalog, but ladies, you don't have to throw your old catalogs away. So I have my labels on the inside of that. And then I also have, now this was left over from when I was selling jewelry, but I have a ton of these little bags. So it's on the width, it actually fits the catalog perfectly. So I just do one this way and one that way. And on the front, it says this catalog is expired. However, visit my website for current specials. And then I have my website there. So that gives them some information. And I just start a conversation and, oh, well, may I give you a catalog? Yeah, sure, I'd love one. So I gave out some of these yesterday. So that's how I'm planting the seeds. And then if I can get a phone number, like yesterday, I was coming back in to my apartment complex and about to pick up my mail. And there was a young lady out there. Well, we're about the same age. And I just smiled and waved at her, and she waved back and came over to my car, and we just had a conversation. We exchanged phone numbers. I gave her some information, gave her my real estate card as well, because she was looking to purchase a home. But we talked about Jafra, and for some reason, I looked like a face that she could just share with. She told me she just lost her job. She was trying to, she wanted to buy a house, but now she's got to do something to make money because she just lost her job. So what am I going to do? Tell her about Jafra. So I got her phone number. I let her put her number in my phone. There was another gentleman that came up, so we were having a 3-way conversation, but then I called her from my phone just to make sure she gave me the right phone number, and her phone did ring. I said, oh, I just wanted you to have my number, so now you can lock me in, and let's talk again in a day or 2.
That's great advice. Have them put their number in, then you call their number to make sure that it goes through.
Yes.
Yeah, and also the girls are taking pictures, saying, I want to always remember you. Can I just take your picture and make sure I put it right with your name, so I'll always know who you are when I call you.
Exactly. And I did go into my notes section of her contact information and put where I met her. I put the date, and I just put a little information that she shared with me in my notes section of her contact.
So DeLoria, tell us I want to talk a little bit about what you're doing on social media, what you're doing. Just give us a little training on that, because you're very good at it.
Oh my goodness. Thank you. Well, again, I have my Facebook business page, and branding is important. So I use my DeLoria's Beauty Bar as my branding, and I have created my Facebook banner page via Canva. You can use Canva or Crello, Crello. I think I prefer Canva for that. And there are templates already there that you can use, or you can create something that you like, but it needs to be attractive. But then also go in and you can also use the banners off of the Jafra page, and you can just download those and just have some fresh content on your banner. But using that as well as having a VIP group, which I'm probably going to change the name. I'm thinking of a different name because I wanted to speak more to their needs other than you're at DeLoria's Beauty Bar. I want it to be about them. So contemplating a name that will speak to them, but just doing some special things in the VIP group and sharing information with them. Something else that Evelyn and I have started now for all of the ladies that's in our lineage, we have a Royal Connections group, and it's a private group. So each of us within our same lineage, instead of constantly starting a new group for parties, that's going to be the party place. And we're just in the process of inviting our friends on Facebook to this group, to this this multiple consultant group. And once they're there, and they'll see everything that's happening within the group. We just encourage people, just purchase from the consultant that added you to the group. And people are faithful and loyal to their consultant.
DeLoria, I love that idea. So for everyone that's here, that's watching this interview, you need to give consideration that maybe they connect with their upline leader, or with their and join together and doing the parties together, right? That's what you're really saying. So
Exactly.
you can share the responsibility of doing the party and doing all the clever things, and yet the client that's invited, it's kind of like what Jafra's doing with their joy meeting.
Yeah.
Jafra, you do the joy meeting, Jafra's doing the joy meeting. So then what you do is you actually have your person invited to watch the joy meeting, and that way you're using Jafra and using their connection. So what you're saying is you're doing that same kind of a concept. You're doing a Jafra party, and everyone in that lineage can connect to that Jafra party.
Absolutely.
And then that person that's been invited there would go back to the person that invited her and do the buying.
Exactly. We've
Or
got
do
everyone's websites. Yes.
That's a good one, DeLoria. That's a good idea. Okay,
So
so
we've included games and information. So it's not just selling. And that was one of the things we wanted to make sure that we were not just, here, come buy my product, but we're giving them value, and we're promoting camaraderie, that we're not competing against each other as consultants, but this is really a sisterhood. I've made such wonderful friendships and connections just being in Jafra during this pandemic. And it's so important to me to have that. So we're showing not only, yes, we are selling product and we want you to experience what we experience with these wonderful products, but look, we're all working together, and we would love to have you be a part of this as well. And we all kind of support each other. So it's a new thing that we've started just in the last couple of weeks. So we're still getting it off the ground. But I think it's a wonderful concept. And then you're not constantly asking the same person, oh, come join this party. Oh, come join this party. Oh, come join this party. It's all happening within the same group, and they're already there.
right. Okay. What other success ideas do you have for us?
Reading, feed your mind with healthy things. So I'm reading 2 books right now at the same time. I'm reading The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. I'm also reading The One Thing by Gary Keller. So I say you have to have some balance in what you're doing, and make sure that the information that you're taking into your spirit, if I can say it that way, is healthy and encouraging, and you're hearing other viewpoints of people that are already successful. So for instance, I'll use Jafra for instance, in regards to the training that's already here. There is absolutely no need for me to go and recreate the wheel. And sometimes that's a challenge because I am such a creative person and I think out of the box. But when you look at the success of Jafra over 64 years, all I have to do is follow the training that's already been set for me. But you want to, include some healthy reading, some healthy listening. I love listening to different ones on YouTube. I call it YouTube University. And feed my mind in the morning. Well, of course, for me, it's going to be praise and worship and prayer in the morning. And I'm going to have my devotion in the morning with the Lord. But at some point during my day, I want to read, at least 5 or 10 pages of something that is going to give me good information on what I'm doing, on being an entrepreneur. And this is something else that was recommended to me. I haven't had time to start this one yet, but I just have a list of books that I'm going to be reading because I love being an entrepreneur, and that's very, very important to me. So why not feed the basis of my desire to be an entrepreneur with people that are successful with it, on top of listening to and applying the knowledge from those that are successful already in Jafra.
And you're very good, DeLoria, about connecting. You're always there on the Zoom meetings. You're supportive of everything that Jafra does. And I think that that's to be an example. You're a really good example of that. I also kind of feel, DeLoria, well, I want people to know, how do they get to your, not to your website, because they can see your name there, it's posted, but they can see your Facebook page. So I highly recommend that you go into DeLoria's Facebook page, and you can actually scroll down and see some of the fun videos that she's done and some of the cute things that she's done to attract people. So I would say, write her name down, go into Facebook, take a look at her webpage, and then check in every once in a while with DeLoria to see what she's been up to and what kinds of things she's posting, because she is a very creative person.
Thank you.
All right, now, some of the obstacles that you've had to face, what kind of advice would you give to those that are struggling right now? They're working really hard and they're trying to connect with Jafra in every way and meet people. But what kind of advice, because you certainly have met obstacles in your life?
Oh, absolutely. The main thing is your mindset. Your mindset. Don't give up. Now, I won't get very detailed with it because this is public, but in the midst of all of the pandemic, when it was starting, I ended up with an illness, and living alone, it was very, very challenging to deal with this physical challenge, I'll call it, that I had to deal with. But my mindset was not to give up, find the information that I needed for my physical ailment, and do what made sense to take care of that, but then to not give up. But if I required more rest that day, guess what? My laptop can go to my bedroom with me. I don't necessarily have to just stay in the bed and stay horizontal and not do anything, but I can read, I can research, I can, again, take my laptop with me and still do work. But it's if I can just stress that it's mindset and don't give up. We're human. We're going to have challenges. I have struggles. I have difficulties. I have hard times. I have things that I'm dealing with, of course. But, I was sharing with someone the other day in regard to the community with Jafra. I tell you, it's golden. It's just golden. When you are connecting via Zoom and sometimes via phone or text with people of like mind, and we've all got something. I don't care who you are on this earth, everybody is dealing with something. But you just have to have a don't give up attitude. Now, that's not to say that, things won't hit you hard and you You need to take a moment. I mean, I have people that I personally know that passed away from COVID. So it wouldn't make sense to just stay at the computer. Well, I'm going to act like they didn't pass away and just keep working. No, I've got to take that moment and grieve for my friend that passed away, or grieve for this person in my church world that has passed away. Experience that, and then you wash your face and you get up, you breathe, and you get back at it again. But you've got, I mean, just to be healthy, you've got to allow yourself those different levels. You experience it. One of the things I did mention, I'm a self-published author as well, just of a book, Single Again. And for me, the writing was therapeutic for me. The book apparently, thankfully, has been a blessing to some other women. But find a way to take that pain that you're dealing with and bless other people with it, because God did not allow you to have that pain just for you. Take what you've learned from the pain and find a way to bless somebody else with it. Help someone else through it. I was a caregiver for my mom, for my dad too, as well. When I moved back to California in April 2010 to take care of my parents, my dad passed away that same year in December, and then I cared for my mother for a number of years after that. So now I can help people with caregiving. That was a painful, painful thing to watch my mother, to watch her deteriorate with the horrible disease of dementia and some other health challenges that she had. But I love my mother so dearly, and my father. But now, having been through it, I can help other people with a phone call. I had a friend call me yesterday. We've been friends for years. And now her mother doesn't have dementia, but she's her mom's caregiver. And we were put into these roles. I was about to say thrown into these roles, but that sounds like a negative, but we were there. There's usually one kid in the family that's going to handle those things. But now that I've gone through the experience, and when mother closed her eyes for the last time, I had no regrets of my care for her, because I know in my heart that I did absolutely everything that I could for my parents. I did everything that I could. I have no medical background, but when the home health care nurses would come, and when mom was in the hospital, those nurses would teach me what to do. And having no background, I was still able to learn how to care for her diabetes, how to give her insulin shots. And I'm a queasy person with needles and all that, but I had to learn how to do it. My mother was on a G-tube. I had to learn how to operate the G-tube machine. I had to learn what to do with mother if certain things happened with that. And it's just a determination, Vickie.
You know,
That's all I
DeLoria,
can tell you.
yeah, DeLoria, I think what you're saying too is that when we lose ourselves in helping others, that's the key to life. To me, it's like reaching out, helping someone, lifting someone's spirit. And what you've done is you've found a business that
Yes.
enables you to give of this generous heart that you have. All day, I know that you're reaching out on Zoom, reaching out on Facebook, that you're out there supporting people. And so the focus isn't on you, the focus is on others. And
Yes.
that's what I hear from you. I am hearing that this is how I deal with my life and how I deal with finding fulfillment and happiness. It's I find people who need me.
Yes.
So everyone that's watching this interview, you need to remember that when you get up, DeLoria's given us she's told us about how she basically has her meditation time, she has her prayer time, she has time for the Lord in her life, and she makes that available every day. And then what does she do? She gets on her laptop, just like I do, DeLoria. We're so much alike. I have my laptop. I have this great little portable desk, and I kind of move around, and I can sit here. I've got my virtual background.
Yes.
And I love I have to say my if there's a favorite thing about the pandemic, if there can be something good, for me, it's the fact that I've always had all these people all over the United States that were in my downline. And a lot of times, unless I got on a plane and went to that area or got on the phone, but there was this way we get to connect.
We get to connect.
I get to connect with you. I get to see your face and your expressions, and I get to share ideas with you. So I have to say that that's the one good thing that has come out of this tragedy, because it is a tragedy, is the fact that we can connect and we can give of ourselves to each other. And you are giving to us by giving us hope, giving us ideas, telling us how you're doing the business, and it'll reach many people. And
I'm so grateful.
That's what the sisterhood is all about, DeLoria. And you said it so beautiful. Jafra is a sisterhood, and we help each other. Like, here's Shafika. And instead, I mean, you could have taken that her and said, oh, let me tell you about the opportunity, oh, da, 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 da. But you didn't. You went, you need to connect with Shafika. And you did for Shafika what she couldn't really do. You gave her the strong Jafra rah-rah. And then it was a beautiful story. It really was. And I find that in Jafra, Jan Day said, sharing and caring was her motto.
Yes.
We share and we care.
Yes.
And you're such an example of sharing and caring. I love your spirit. I love your way of presenting. And you're destined to go far in this company, Julia. You are. And I love your red dress, because I can't wait to stand on stage with you with that red dress on. And then the gold dress is coming.
Yes.
So I just foresee a beautiful future for you in this company. And I am honored to work with you, work with Evelyn, and to have you in my downline. But do you have any closing words that you would like to share with everyone?
I do. Again, Vickie, I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. I feel like because of where you are in the company, and you haven't said too much of anything about yourself, but everybody, I want you to know she's been with the company 55 years. And she doesn't have to take, so I'm talking to the public now, Vickie. Vickie does not have to take the time that she does with the consultants, but I hear from Vickie via WhatsApp or a text message, or I know she's there. I know if I got stuck somewhere, that I know that I could call this lady that has been in the business for 55 years. I can contact Jackie as well. She's been in the business a number of years. And I'm trying to keep from crying. I know I'm an emotional person, but I know we're closing out, but if I have one thing that I can leave with you, ladies and gentlemen, because we have men in the business as well, don't sleep on Jafra. Don't say, oh, they're just a makeup company, because we are so much more than the product that we are. We have the top of the line. Look at me, don't I look good?
You do.
We have the top of the line skincare. And you have to understand to pamper yourself. I'm not really comfortable going into a spa or getting my feet done and all that, but I can do all of those things at home with the products. But understand that this is a community of people that care about each other. And I'm a recipient of how Jafra cares. And I'm not being a commercial right now. If you could see my eyes, I'm really, there's tears in there. Jafra really does cares. And at the point of life where I was moving, I'm 60 years old and starting my life over again, this was a perfect fit for me. So don't sleep on Jafra. If someone has contacted you, has reached out to you, understand that you can do in Jafra, you can do in Jafra as little or as much as you want. I have chosen to go all out and go into leadership and take advantage of everything that Jafra is offering. But if you want to do it part-time on the side, you can certainly do that. But yeah, Jafra makes me cry happy tears. So I love it. I love it. I know I could go on and on, but I'll stop. I
DeLoria,
just don't want you to sleep on the opportunity. Just
no.
take a
You
look.
know,
Just take a look.
I feel inspired to share a story with all of you. Because you bring it to mind. There was a Persian traveler. He was traveling throughout the desert. But before he took this trip throughout the desert, he heard a voice. He didn't know where he heard the voice from. Was it from heaven? Was it how did this happen to me? But the voice told him that he should gather pebbles before he went on his journey, and that he should put these pebbles in his pocket. And so he did. He put the pebbles in his pocket, and he went off on his journey in the desert with his camel, with all of his packs. And as he came to the first oasis, he started to bed down for the night. And the voice said, no, this is not the place to bed down. So he said, there's another oasis. So he went on, found the second oasis, felt good about bedding down for the night. But before he bedded down for the night, he had remembered that the voice had told him when he was gathering the pebbles and putting them in his pocket, that he would be glad and sorry. And he thought to himself, how could I be glad and sorry at the same time? But he did what the voice had told him, put the pebbles in his pocket. He went, he found the first oasis, then he found the second oasis. And before he bedded down for the night, he put the pebbles in his pocket as the voice had told him to. And he kept sleeping on it. And he said, how could I be glad and sorry at the same time?
Mm-hmm.
How could a person be glad and sorry at the same time? And in the morning when he awoke, the first thing he did was he went to his pocket. He pulled out the pebbles. He looked at the pebbles, and behold, they had turned into precious gems. He was so glad that he had gathered the pebbles, but he was so sorry that he had not gathered more. How can you be glad and sorry at the same time? So we're on this journey. We've got our Jafra products, and we've got our Zoom meetings, and we've got all these things. We are gathering pebbles every time we share the opportunity.
Yes.
Every time we share with someone and tell them about Jafra, to use the products, to save their skin, whatever, we're gathering pebbles.
Yes.
But I can promise you, DeLoria, as you gather these pebbles, you'll want to gather as many as you possibly can, because these pebbles will turn into precious gems. My life is filled with Jafra leaders all over the United States. I have truly the most amazing lineage. You know what I have just in Houston. I have 3 ambassadors in Houston.
Wow.
Those are gems.
Mm-hmm.
How would have I known that when I met Delia Sanchez and went up to Logan, Utah here and showed her the Jafra opportunity, and she joined Jafra, that she would turn into this precious gem who produced 3 ambassadors, and she's about to become an ambassador.
That's
You
amazing.
don't. So my word is, DeLoria, you are a pebble that has been gathered, and I'm so grateful for you. And I know that as you build and get that red dress and wear that gold dress, that you are the most beautiful gem. And so my wish for all of you is go out and gather the pebbles. Go out and build your teams.
Yes.
And watch them turn into precious gems.
Absolutely.
So thank you, DeLoria, for being with us. Thank you for your words of wisdom. I will be following you and staying close with you always. So take care. And all of you, I remind you that if you would like an invitation to be part of my Vickie Hacking's team, you're invited. All you have to do is send me a text, 801-710-4483, and I will send you a link. And then don't forget, every Saturday morning at 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, adjust to your time zone, that you join Zoom. My join number is 710-4483, my phone number. And we would love to have you come. We have great leaders. We have people like DeLoria who share their ideas, tell us what they're doing. We go into their computers. We find out what's going on in their business life, how they're doing Facebook Live. And we get great inspiring messages. So join me on Saturday morning at 9 o'clock, and it's a Zoom meeting. So bye, everyone. God bless. Take care. Thank you, DeLoria, for this wonderful time that we spent together.
Thank you for
Bye.
having me, Vickie.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
DeLoria. God bless.
God bless.
Be safe.
You too. Thank you.